Shabbat Shalom, my friends. Our conversation with the Torah continues week after week. Our Sedra is EMOR, Leviticus 21:1 and following. Let me first mention that on May 19th we interrupt the sad memories connected with the counting of the Omer in order to celebrate Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the counting of the Omer. That's May 19th. That day is meant to be a truly fun time. We hold aloft the life of Shimon Bar Yochai, believed by Kabbalists to be the author of that mystical gem, the Zohar. It is also the time when traditional Jews give their 3-year-old sons their first haircut, a ceremony known as Ushperin. We have parties on Lag BaOmer, weddings, listening to music, singing and dancing, and of course, outdoor barbecues centered around raging bonfires. I well remember, I've shared this before, that our apartment in Jerusalem overlooked a beautiful natural open space, a park, and inevitably the fire department had to show up in the middle of the night on Lag BaOmer to extinguish out-of-control bonfires. We saw no one ever injured. It was great fun. For many Israelis, Lag BaOmer is also a powerful Zionist holiday commemorating, among other items, the establishment of the Palmach on that date in 1943. Following Lag BaOmer, the count is really on for the arrival of the festival of Shavuot and celebrations of the giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai. So, in advance, happy Lag BaOmer, everyone, and be careful with those bonfires. Okay, so how do we now smoothly, cleverly segue to our text? Easy, because our Sedra contains a strong, clear reference to the counting of the Omer between Passover and Shavuot. Very convenient. But don't look for any mention of Ushperin, of those haircuts in the Torah. That comes much, much later on. It is true and obvious that among other descriptives, the book of Leviticus is all about separations. Separations between that which is holy and that which is not holy. Separation between the priestly tribe, the Levites, and all the other Israelites. Separation between the people of Israel and all the other people. Separation between the God of Israel and whatever it is that other peoples choose to worship. Separation between Shabbat and all other days. In EMOR, we have the most complete rendering of the ancient Jewish calendar. And calendars are all about separations. There certainly are other places in the Torah in which aspects of the calendar are laid out, but the mother lode is right here this week. Here we find Shabbat, Passover, the counting of the Omer, Shavuot, Yom Teruah, the day of shofar blast, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, the new moon, Rosh Chodesh, along with a myriad of other details, all contained in just 44 verses. By the way, were you paying close attention? You should have noticed that I made no mention of Rosh Hashanah, just that occasion of Yom Teruah, shofar blasts, that occurs on the first day of the 7th month. Rosh Hashanah itself emerges later on. Calendars, no matter how firmly set, continue to evolve. Separations. The word Havdalah means separation. Judaism was then and has always been very aware of distinctions in our world. We have denominations, God bless them all today. Orthodox, Reform, Reconstructionist, Conservative, Renewal, Karaite, and others. In the days of the Second Temple, there were some 23 such divisions. And there are observant Jews and non-observant Jews. There are Kaddish Jews, you know what that means, and Torah-studying Jews, and the growing number of none of the above Jews. My beloved and profoundly respected teacher of blessed memory, Rabbi David Hartman, spoke often of Auschwitz Jews and Sinai Jews. Auschwitz Jews drew their most powerful mitzvot from the Holocaust experience. For them, never again is as powerful as Shema Yisrael. For Sinai Jews, Mitzvot only can flow from Torah, from what they call the Word of God. Love your neighbor as yourself, care for the stranger, you once were strangers, are key indicators of what it means to live as a Jew. So we have Sinai Jews, Auschwitz Jews. Rabbi Shlomo Riskin offers another kind of separation between Passover Jews and Shavuot Jews. Passover deals with the exodus from Egypt, Shavuot, the giving of Torah at Sinai. For Riskin, the Passover Jew is the Jew who acknowledges that during the Exodus we became far less a collection of competing tribes and more specifically a people, a single family, Passover. Many Bible scholars today support the notion that during the Exodus, for the very first time, we became a nation, a single people, bound together with shared dreams and shared experiences and shared obligations. When we say, Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh Lazeh, every Jew bears responsibility for every other Jew, we are Passover Jews. When we sit together around the Shabbat table, we're Passover Jews. When we affirm a traditional Jewish notion that all of existence depends upon the personal, ethical choices that we make, we are into our Passover identity. When we sustain and support Holocaust survivors or the impoverished elderly or the widow or the orphan of any people, we are exemplifying what a Passover Jew is, in contrast to the Passover Jew. How does Riskin describe the Shavuot Jew? The Jew who identifies strongly with Sinai. For Riskin, the Passover Jew connects horizontally with all Jews who share in the peoplehood covenant. The major motivation for the Shavuot Jew is their vertical relationship with the God of Revelation. The Shavuot Jew understands that covenant contains details. Those details are the mitzvot, our commitments to live according to the higher law. The Shavuot Jew celebrates every individual who freely comes to Judaism and pledges themselves to the God of Israel and to observing the mitzvot. The primary focus of the Shavuot Jew is their relationship with God. Through that relationship, then the Shavuot Jew extends love to their own people and then to humankind. The Passover Jew's primary focus is their relationship horizontally with the people Israel and with all of humanity. And through that relationship discovers the presence of God. Riskin privileges the Passover Jew as being on a higher plane than the Shavuot Jew, who is careful not to transgress the mitzvot and whose first commitment is to draw close to God. But that's Riskin. In a tradition rich with separations and differences, are you more likely to be a Passover Jew or a Shavuot Jew? Think about it. Have a wonderful Shabbat and a joyous Lag BaOmer. Watch those bonfires. See you next week.